Oh, okay, great.
Okay, so it's recording now. Let me see here. Drag that over there. Okay, so I'm going to screen share real quick. Okay, so you're looking at, this is my Cloud9 IDE project. And of course, after this, except for updates, posting comments, and that kind of thing, but just updates will be about the only thing that gets any kind of hard-coded, just documents, a few links in this. So after middle of next week, we really won't be messing with this anymore, but I will set up a new, for our new project. But what I wanted to show you is kind of a quick workflow. So if you're having a hard time or you're curious on it works. So I always run with 2 terminals open down here on the bottom. You get that by hitting the plus and then just go to terminal here, or Alt-T if you're used to Linux. And because that's what it is, it's a Linux system. And so the first thing you have to do is fire up the Rails server, just like you would for Java, or like using a Tomcat or Blowfish or even Apache server. And there is a special, normally if you're running local, you would just do Rails S and then go to localhost 3000. But because we're on here, you do have to do Rails S-P port-B IP. And then it will load the web break. And here in a minute. And then it will provide you with the link here to a live version. Now, if you're using mine, then it's going to only give you partial just because it doesn't want you to. Actually, what it's doing is keeping you from pushing to GitHub without permission. Because you actually, when I share it with you, you do have full privileges. So in that aspect. But now the web break is running. And so now we have our demo model. And this is the production. This is not, I mean, this is the development, not production. So notice all of this is just junk there, fake account. But it does allow you full development. So, okay, so in this case, this is a live or a dynamic fill-in, but I've just put in Shauna's right here. And so now I can go ahead and save it, Control S or file, and we can do a Git status. And notice that the Git status says that we're on the master branch. And from here on out, each one of us will be working on our own individual branch, and then we will push to master. Master then pushes to Haruko, which will be our production. So we will individually each work on our own branch in order to keep from pushing onto each other, as well as always provides us with a solid working copy. But in this case, so it's on master. This is the one change that was made. Notice modified here. So I will go ahead and add that. A commit in Git is just a simple one-sentence kind of thing that says what you did, so that when we're looking back at the list right here, so you can see I made 32 commits, and each one of them has modified Lewis bio, cleaned up CSS, just a quick little note that says what happened, so it makes it easier to find or to know what happened. Added Shauna bio. And now I can go ahead and push that to Git. So once I push it, notice that the latest update here is 1, 2, 3 a day ago right here, where I worked on my bio. So now when I push from the origin is your desktop or your IDE, to the master, and so when you push, or when we push down the road, so mine will be Zach branch, so then I would push from origin to Zach branch. Notice now it's gone through that, and when we come back over here and refresh, 39 seconds ago we added Shauna's bio, and we can actually go to the commits and see exactly what changed. So here was the original file, here's everything that was changed. And in this case, it was a new, but if we look at this last one that I did here, so I modified, information will go here, and I started putting in this. So you can see every change that was saved. And that's what makes it really nice, and we can always revert. So if I just crashed the system, we could reload this one that worked and continue on with our day. And so from there, if I go to Calmhead, which is where our actual, so now here's our production account, our production site. And so now if we go to team, obviously Shauna's is still here because we haven't made any changes from there. So now I will do git push, and I'm going to Haruko from master, and it will run through this, and it takes it a minute because it has to rebuild, and it builds it in a virtual sandbox first, and then if it completely builds properly, then it will release the sandbox into our live file. So notice it says it's deployed. Now when we come back here, now we have her bio, and this is our production. So you can see how easy it is just to make changes, update our GitHub account, our repository, and our production, just like that. And of course, this is open for the world. And so as we begin to develop our ride board, that same process will happen over and over again. And about the only difference is that when we're working as a team, the first thing that you'll do when you go to get new, to start working, is you will pull. So you'll do a git pull that will update your IDE or your local machine with the most current version. Then you'll do your work and you'll push it, come back tomorrow, you'll pull down the newest one. And so that way, if Bryant and I are working and then Shauna gets to where she's at tonight and she wants to mess around with it at 3 o'clock in the morning, she'll pull the newest version and it'll have all of our changes to it. And of course, looks like Bryant, I think looks like, yeah, that's him right there.
Yeah.
So we can now live code, and if you go to typing right there, you can type on there. You know, type something. We can, I mean, it's not going to kill anything, so. Okay, so now you're down at the bottom, so you should be able to type. Yeah, so you're putting in a note comment.
I got you. That's kind of cool.
So yeah, so we can,
collaboration.
right, we can all work together, but because I'm the primary on this one, I have to, the only difference is that process to go to preview, where you would actually, I would have to give you the link. But if I give you the link, okay, so I'm going to post it in here. Let's see, make sure that's the right one. We'll just go home, copy, group chat. Okay, so I post, now I sent you the link. Now that's a developmental, so you'll have to set up an account real quick, but you can just make it junk because there's no email client with it or anything. So just, you can just make it any simple thing that you want, but you should then be able to log into it and use it in the production mode. Let me get something. And since we can't actually see, you'll have to tell us if you can use the production mode, the production website.
It let me log into it, create the account there.
You were able to?
Yeah, I'm seeing Shauna's bio info just like you pulled up here just a second ago.
Yeah, so you're looking at this. So that's the only difference is that I control the WebBrick Rails server from that because I initiated the account. That's, as far as I've been able to tell, that's the only difference between. If you go down here, so go down into the terminal.
Okay.
And notice it says it's in collaborative mode. So now you should go ahead and just type git space status, git status. Yeah, so you see you have full command even of my terminal. It's up to date. And so you can actually push right off of my account.
Oh, yeah.
So as we start working as teams and trying to work within that realm of, oh, hey, I'm stuck here, or can you do this? Let me add this part. You know, that kind of stuff. It'll start to come in really handy.
I can see where that would be useful.
And I was going to, let's see, Brian, let's look at here. Let me get his HTML. Okay, so he's in HTML. All right. So, Brian, yours is in HTML. We only need to body.
Yeah, I got to go back and edit it too. Like the whole resume part, I didn't know that's what they wanted it to be in.
I hate that he puts things in announcements and not in the assignment, because then if we miss something. But yeah, I thought I was talking to somebody else and I'm like, did you see that? And I was like, no. So let's see, make sure I got the right one, Bryant. So we go to yours. And so what I'll go ahead and do is, so again, I will save it. I will go ahead and do a git status. Let me show you how to do a branch while we're here. So typically whenever you're working on something new that could crash it, you always want to do a branch. So even though we will each have our own primary branch, we will then do secondary branches on top of that, just so that we can test it. If it crashes, we can just go back to our old copy and we just move ahead. And it comes in really handy. So I'll do git checkout -b for branch. And I will do, we'll just say Bryant bio. So now, notice we're on the Bryant bio. Now I can go ahead and do git status. There's our status change. We do have to add that. And it's git add space dot or -a. I prefer the period, but that's just personal. So let's see, no, this is going to be added, Bryant bio. And so after I push this, then you can actually come in here and make any changes. And even later on tonight or something, you can make changes and go ahead and save it. And then I'll just push it when I push the other stuff.
Next time you update it, it'll update everything.
Yeah. So if I go right now and push, so notice I'm pushing origin to Bryant bio. Oh, and it does have tab complete, which is nice. So now I've pushed it. So if we go back to the GitHub repository and we come over here, notice we have Bryant bio. And there is this section that's added under that branch. But if I go back to the master, see, it doesn't show up on the master until I do a merge. And so that way we can all work on separate projects and have them sitting there, and then we can merge it without risking that we've completely crashed the system. It's a pretty sweet way to go. Once you get the hang of it, you'll be like, man, this is just too awesome. All right, let's see. Who are we missing on bio? Okay, Eric. There it is. And so now Eric did his in Haml. So since it's Haml, I have to come over here and just rename the file from ERB to Haml. There we go. We can go ahead and save that. Now, okay, so this is an interesting situation here, because really what I should do, let me back this up. Let me get rid of this and resave. Because you can tell I tend to work alone. But since we're here, we might as well do this as well. All right, so now what I'll do is I'll go ahead and do a git merge. Oops, I have to check out to master. So now I'm back on the master branch, and then I can do a git merge Bryant bio. Notice now it's changed. So now when you go look in the GitHub repository on master, we have, let me go down here, master, go to senior project, there we go. And did I not push it? Doesn't look like I pushed it. I did not push it. Oh, I merged it, but I didn't push it. Push origin master. And so now it's pushed. So now I can go ahead and do a git checkout -b for Eric. I can go over to his. I can go ahead, put his information, rename. Save this. We can test it to make sure that it's working the way it should. All right, cool. So notice we got a crash here. And this is a Rails notification illegal nesting. Can't be both given same line as H3 and nested in it. So let's go look over here. The one thing about Haml is sometimes it can be a real pain to figure out the nesting privileges. And that didn't fix it. Okay, so now we're moving down the list. Oh, because that's right, we're nesting, that would be nested inside that, and we can't put one inside the other. I just started kind of messing with Haml. So notice now we have a Eric's page, so now it's working. So then I can go ahead and git push, git status. You'll do git status, git add, git add, git commit about 4 billion times a day, I swear. Okay, git push. Again, we're going from the origin to Eric. Good. And then what you can do is you can come back here and say, so notice that I put his is showing up here, but as soon as I go back to the master, git checkout master, his is gone because that's on a different branch until I merge them. And it's back again because now we've merged that branch from the side.
Okay.
And good, we're live. Go. So you can kind of get the hang of the workflow. It's just a lot of kind of little of this and a little of that. So next week our client's going to meet with us. She'll be on. She's in Colorado right now, so she's like, I don't feel like doing it on my weekend. We've been putting in bazillion hours, so. Okay, so Eric is done. Brian, I assume you're working on yours.
Yeah, I'm gonna make changes to mine since I wanted the resume style instead.
Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and save that form. And here's, so the primary CSS is up here under App, Assets, Style Sheets, Application, CSS. And so that's the main CSS. So if you want to add CSS, that's where you'll add it to right there. Okay, Bryant, good for now. Oops. I'll let you build that. Eric, Lewis, Michael, Shauna, and Zach. So at this point, we have something for everyone. Git status. And you'll do that Git status. And if you have anything that's pending, you have to clear it up before you can push it for deployment. My wife's sending me a Butterfinger alert. Apparently, we're out of Butterfinger.
Tragic thing there.
Yep. Especially when she's making Butterfinger fudge pie. Whatever that is. But it sounds intriguing. So, Shauna, are you still on here? Do you have any questions? Or Mikey, got any questions, you guys?
No, I think if I review the video, I'll be able to see it better.
Yeah.
I think my iPad is just, the screen is really small. So
I'll post it to my YouTube account and send the link out. Well, what we'll do is we'll just publish. I'll just put that inside the our project forum.
okay.
And let me see. I'll go ahead and put it. We'll put it under project information, and I'll just start putting the links down here on the bottom of our videos.
Okay.
Dan, I don't have any questions. I need to modify mine a little over the weekend, so when I do that, I'll get familiar with how to do it.
Yeah, and like I said, so and you can go ahead and modify it in here if you want, or you can modify it and send it to me. Just get it to me. I don't know what time he's going to look Monday morning, and especially since it's a holiday, I don't even know if he's actually going to look on Monday morning. But I'm going to come in. I will do a final push Sunday night, probably 6:30, 7 o'clock Sunday night.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have my iPad before that.
So that way I can deploy everything. Karen's sending me her client deal, and I got a couple of other links and things that I'll push up there. So that way we should be good to go. So now I'm going to go ahead and push to our deployment one more time. Let that source build. And it kind of compiles. It's kind of odd how it does it, but as long as it works.
Hey, Zach, with
Yeah.
the bio, would you prefer us to have a picture and our contact information?
I did just, I mean, I guess if you want, I don't see that it's a requirement.
Okay.
It seemed easy
I
enough.
put a stupid picture on mine.
You did or you didn't?
I did. I put a silly picture. If that...
Oh, yeah, that's right, you did. Let's see here.
Oh,
So we
Ooh,
should.
Broncos game, yeah.
maybe I'll put one of mine up there too.
So let's see. We got something there. I figure it just gives us something to
Put a face to the name.
yeah, you know, something to.
Yeah.
That's quite a beard you got there, Bryant.
It's getting there.
Nice family. And there's Lewis. Cool. Right, good.
Sorry if my CSS cost you some extra headache on there.
Cool. And should anybody get really bored, if anybody wants to mess with the CSS, feel free. It's pissing me off. I can't figure out for the life of me why this line is going crazy. But it's really not that critical since it's just internal. But if anybody gets bored, feel free. And so, yeah, corrected form. And can't think of anything else. So one of the things that I was talking with Lewis about, so this is a college ride board, obviously it's for our campus. So I see predominantly we will use the proper and traditional colors for NMSU, all of our proper color scheme. But
Okay.
if anybody can think of like some good graphic ideas, need some kind of visuals. And since it's a ride board, you know, I was thinking that would be really cool if we could figure out a way to get Pistol Pete in a car or sitting on a trike or something, you know. So anybody with some creativity, feel free to start working on that aspect. I'm much more a code kind of guy. And
It's a lot easier.
yeah.
Yeah, I know. We all have that problem. For most of us do.
Yeah, I like making it work. After that, let somebody else deal with it.
There was a reason why I changed from multimedia to ICT.
Yep. Yeah,
I had to
absolutely.
do a website at work once, and it looked like it was like from the 90s. It was all blocky and boring, and black and white. And they were like, "This looks like crap." And then someone from marketing took over and made it all pretty. So,
Right. I got a friend of mine. He's a PHP developer, and he works with nutrition companies. And he's breaking 200K a year. And I go in, and so if you ever look him up, he's Mr. WordPress. And so he went to school. He has his master's is in fine art, and he realized there was no money to be made there. So he started doing WordPress themes, and he got really good at it. And so he's pretty sought after for that. But I was giving him a hard time because all these sites he works at, they just look like WordPress sites to me. I'm like, it just looks like a WordPress site. I was like, can't you do something cool with it? But apparently, whatever he's doing works. They pay him plenty, so.
skill I lack.
I was going to see. I was trying to remember. Oh, yeah, here you go. Look at this one. I mean, to me, it's just like, it looks like a WordPress site using Bootstrap, and that's it. And you know what's really crazy? So this website right here, and it just has these basic sales. And it's good to look at why things work, but so it's just a basic product sales, and it's incredibly slow, as you can see. these back ease and super joint support and thin mist weight loss spray. 14% of trapped body fat. Do you know how much money this website does per year? This guy, he works directly for this guy right here.
Stupid amount, to be honest with you.
40 million plus.
Yep.
I'm like, for what?
Snake oil.
Yeah, exactly, snake oil. That's but I was pretty amazed. I mean, it's good to look at why but I mean, if this isn't just Bootstrap and WordPress template, looks like when you go to the Bootstrap page, I don't know what does. I mean, those are just, those are CSS buttons. I don't even think those are JavaScript buttons. Those are just. I don't know. But like he said, he doesn't care as long as the money's there. So, but something to keep an eye on, that's for sure. So, well, anybody have plans for the weekend?
Homework.
Yeah.
Going to a Chihuahuas game in El Paso on Monday, but that's it.
So you're going to be at the game tomorrow?
Monday.
On Monday?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, it is Monday the 5th, huh?
Yeah, I actually got at my office, at my work, we just moved our corporate account from AT&T to Verizon, and I did most of the projects, so Verizon gave me 2 tickets to their booth. So I'm going to go check it out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got alumni tickets. I'm actually an alumni from 20 years ago as well. Well, almost 20 years ago. Actually, in 1999, I was the king of school spirit there at the main branch. And then in 2012, I was the king of school spirit here. So I actually have a double throne. So, like, well.
Man, I was only 6 years old in 1999.
Oh, I was already. I'd already been shot 3 times and left the military and turned in my, because I was an Army Ranger first. So and then I went to college, and then I went to college again. So yeah, it's been a while. So, well, I can't think of anything else. Anybody? Last comments?
No.
So next week, I'll go ahead and get us a shell to work from, a Ruby shell, and I'll go ahead and set up a deployment site and the basics for deployment, so that way we can start deployment and testing right off the bat. Ruby is a test-driven environment, and it's really kind of strange because typically you write your test before you write your code. And it's something I haven't got the hang of yet. I'm too much of a Java programmer. And but it is kind of cool that actually, and it comes standard with tests right here. Let's see where they at. Right there. And it comes standard with tests for everything that's been built. We have these tests already. And so you can run the test right from the beginning, but it's kind of a strange thing to write the test before you even write any code. And but I was thinking about, I'm going to try to do a fairly decent job at writing tests as we're going along, so that we can test production and ensure dependability through that. So when you're looking at the book, it's RSpec. So as you're kind of going through, you may want to check out that chapter and just kind of look at it. They're pretty common sense tests, do and whatever that you want it to do when it's true. So we could test like this is common. So we could test that the in title is something, do that, and if it's true, then give us a green light. And it's kind of cool. So, and from an IT perspective, it's kind of strange to test first. It's not something we would normally do, I guess, but.
You gotta know what you're testing first. You gotta break something.
That's the way I always saw it. It was like, how do I know what
That's in production.
I've done it. But yeah, Ruby's really strong in that, and I guess that's part of the reason why Ruby on Rails has been so incredibly popular, because you can test it so quick from the beginning, and so they actually do. If you take any of the classes like from code school or anything, they give you the test and then you write the code following the test. So it'll say, do something, something, and something. So you write a test and oh, nope, I failed all three. So you write it until you pass the first one, and then you write till you pass the second, and finally you pass all three. And then the assumption is at that point you've completed everything. And they look at it from the perspective that if you work in a test-driven environment, you don't overcode. You supply the minimum to ensure production quality. And so you don't actually waste a bunch of time doing things you don't need, which is kind of cool, if I can just get the hang of it.
Makes sense if you can get it to work at least.
Right. So, but yeah, it's called RSpec. So as you're looking through, you may just, I would suggest you just take a few minutes and kind of look at it, and as we go along. And they actually do pair coding that way. So like, say me and Brian, we're going to do pair coding, and we look at, okay, this is today's topics that we're going to resolve. So I write a test, you write the code to pass the test. Then we go to the next one, and you write the test, and I write the code to pass it. And they pass it back and forth. And it's driver and writer. And so the driver writes the test, and the writer writes the code. And you just switch back and forth. So it's kind of cool. Be interesting to see how it works.
Indeed.
So, well, if nobody else has anything that we need to do, like I said, try to get, I'll do a final push 6:30 or 7 on Sunday night.
Okay.
So everything that's up, that will be the last run, pending if he does it. And I can't think of anything else. If you guys get stuck, just send me the code, the updated code, and I'll throw it in there. I think everybody has their IO accounts, their Cloud9 account. So I will try, let's see, Brian. So everybody, but I guess Shauna has sent a requested read permission. So that way, but I'll try to publish that as well. And then, like I said, next week I'll get a template for us to start working, and we can get to work.
Nice. Look forward to it.
Sounds like fun.
Sounds good. Well, you guys have a safe holiday. I think everybody has my number. If something comes up, text me, because I won't be around internet. I'm going to be building an addition on my cabin, so I won't be around internet till Sunday evening. So if something comes up, text me. Here, I'll put it in the message. No, I'm not going to, because I'm going to post this. So, but I will email it to everybody here in just a second. Again, so you have it.
Cool.
All righty.
Thank you. Have a good weekend. No?
All right, cool. You guys have a good weekend, and I will talk to you first of the week.
All right, take a look, guys.
Cool.
All right, take care.
Bye.
All right.